I still went to my dental appointment after my husband tried to get me to reschedule. He kept saying the timing was bad and that I should wait until next week. When I asked why, he just mumbled something about being busy with work stuff. I found it weird since he never cared about my dental appointments before, but I really needed to go. My tooth had been killing me for days, and I already rescheduled twice because of his complaints, so I went anyway. The dentist took one look at my mouth and his face went pale. He asked if I had been in some kind of accident recently. I told him no, just normal tooth pain. He pointed to my x-rays and showed me 3 cracked teeth and severe damage to my jaw that looked like trauma from being hit. That's when it clicked. My husband had been acting super weird lately, getting angry over nothing, grabbing my arm too hard when we argued. Last week during a fight about money, he shoved me and I hit the kitchen counter with my face. He said it was an accident and begged me not to make a big deal about it. The dentist kept asking questions and I started crying. He called his assistant over and they both looked concerned. They explained that this type of dental damage doesn't just happen from normal wear and that they were required to document everything. I begged them not to call anyone because I was scared of what my husband would do if he found out, but they said they had to follow protocol for suspected domestic violence cases. They took photos of my mouth and gave me a card for a local shelter. When I got home, my husband was pacing around the living room looking nervous. He asked how the appointment went and if everything was fine. I lied and said it was just a cavity. He seemed relieved and went back to watching TV. That night, I looked up the damage costs online. The dental work was going to cost over $8,000. We didn't have that kind of money and our insurance barely covered anything. I realized he probably knew about the damage and was trying to stop me from finding out so he wouldn't have to pay for it. I started paying more attention to his behavior. He would flinch whenever I touched my face or mentioned my teeth hurting. When I brought up needing to schedule a follow-up appointment, he got angry and said we couldn't afford it right now. The next morning while he was at work, I called the dentist back. They connected me with a social worker who explained that there were programs to help domestic violence victims get medical care. She also told me about legal options for making him pay for the damage he caused. I decided to document everything. I took photos of the bruises on my arms that I had been hiding with long sleeves. I wrote down dates and details of every time he hurt me. I found old medical records from when I went to urgent care for a sprained wrist that I had blamed on falling downstairs. When my husband came home that day, I was sitting at the kitchen table with all the evidence spread out in front of me. His face went white when he saw the dental x-rays and the photos. He started apologizing and saying it would never happen again. I told him I was leaving and that he was going to pay for every cent of my dental work or I was taking everything to the police. He tried to argue, but I showed him the card the social worker gave me with a lawyer's number on it. He ended up agreeing to pay for the dental work, and I moved in with my sister the next week. The whole thing cost him almost $10,000 after all the procedures were done. He kept trying to call and text me asking for payment plans or to work things out, but I blocked his number.